This could be my favorite recipe of the day. Absolutely delicious lamb cutlets with a tomato butter, and we're using our great southern lamb, free range, grass-fed, so delicious. And a lamb rack, it's got to be one of the premier cuts of all our red meats, and I love it, and I particularly love it when we've got the classic lamb lollipop. So let's get into it. The first thing we're going to do, I'm just going to put the lamb aside for a second. We've got the Cube 360 cranked up, the coals are super hot, and the tomato butter. So first up, we've got some tomatoes, and what I'm going to do is just cut them straight down in half, and they're going to go onto the grill. And we're going to get a little bit of colour on there, bring out some of that moisture, create some of the sweetness from the tomatoes, and they're going to be so, so good when we whip them through our Western Star butter. While the tomatoes are doing their thing, I'm just going to really quickly season up our lamb. So some sea salt, pop that over the top. And this lamb, it's all, as this name sort of suggests, from the southern parts of Australia. So we're talking about Victoria, southern New South Wales, South Australia, Tasmania, our great southern land, our great southern lamb. Little pepper, beautiful. So I'll just give this a little flip, make sure all the sides are coated, and then just for some lubrication, we've got the squeaky gate all-rounder. We won't need too much of this because the lamb has a beautiful sort of marbling through it. So just a couple of drips and drops on your lamb chops. There you go. Happy days, and time to dive in with the hands. Just massage that in, all sides, seasoned nicely. The tomatoes, I can hear them sort of hissing and popping as they're touching those charcoals. My mouth is watering already. I hope yours is too. I think we're ready to flip the tomatoes. There we go. Bit of char on there, that's exactly what we're looking for. They're softened slightly. We'll let that now do the same thing on the other side. I think we're good. Little bowl, slider, tongs, colour everywhere. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Colour on the skin, colour on the tomato, everything's softened. They've dropped out a fair bit of their moisture. I'm just going to leave those now to cool until we get onto the butter. And this is the moment we've all been waiting for. The cutlets onto a really roaring hot grill. Now, honestly, 2 minutes each side. I think that's all we need. And for a small little barbecue, this is going to fit a fair bit on it. And that's what I love about the Cube 360. It really does an amazing job. The smell, the flare, the flames, it's so, so good. Look at that. So I'm talking about nice grilled choppies, 2 minutes, flippy, flippy. I think we're pretty much there. Look at the colour. That for me is seriously just Australia on a plate, down at the beach, kids playing in the background, blue sky, barbecue. So, so good. Delicious lamb. Pop them there just to rest. Now time for our delicious tomato butter. And to kick it off, we've got the Western Star. Now I've been lucky to get down to Cobden and meet some of the Western Star dairy farmers like Chris, whose family has been in the butter industry for a very, very long time, supplying the milk and cream that makes this delicious butter, and we're gonna pimp it out a little bit. So we've got our tomatoes, which I'm just gonna chop through. They've cooled slightly, which is what we want. Quite rough chop. Glass bowl, softened butter goes in. It's obviously gonna soften even further when the warm tomato goes in there and I start whipping it around. I got some fresh thyme leaves. Some pepper goes in. So seasoning well with salt. That's looking good. I'm just gonna work my spoon in with the butter and the tomato. Look at that. Whip, 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 whip. That is looking good. This recipe is as simple as it comes. And honestly, I don't think I even need to plate this up because that is all I really need to do, because you know this is gonna taste absolutely delicious. Yum. Perfectly cooked too. And of course, that free range lamb tastes immaculate.